Alright, what's up guys, it's Spiderwolf back for another JJKPhantomparade video. So we're talking about the new stuff coming out tonight. You know, might as well. And also, should you summon the new Miwa? To be honest, probably not, but we do have pity tickets, so you know, if you want to do like 20 multis, that wouldn't necessarily be too bad because you could use those for future characters. But yeah, also before we start, I would really appreciate if you guys would drop a like, subscribe, and comment if you guys are new here, or you know, like to help if you guys are long-time viewers. Would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Would really appreciate it. But with that being said, let's hop onto the good stuff. Got this Miwa banner here with a new recollection bit, which from what I saw, you know, a little bit, you know, saw a little sneak peek. Apparently this one's a really good one, so we'll take a look at what it does and why it's apparently kind of good. You know, the new event here as well, this little image. So there's a story event basically, which it looks like it's going to be another lottery event, so you just keep that in mind. I think it's literally the same thing, right? Story event is like lottery event, and then grand extras and battles, the boss rush, whatever mode with the map. So these ones are kind of okay, you know, basically clear out the stage in the beginning and then just rinse and repeat the boss every day basically. I think this recollection bit isn't too bad either, so we'll take a look, but like, you know, we'll take a look at all those. So here we go. On the tier list though, where this Miwa does lie, she's apparently an S+ specialist. If I remember correctly, I think she was supposed to be a tank because this used to be the tank role, but apparently she's pretty good. So we'll see what she does right now. So Kasu Miwa, so she's blue. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do need a blue character, so maybe worth for me to pull. Probably not gonna pull though for her unless we get lucky. Oh, I guess I should mention this real quick too. We will probably get a free multi, most likely a 1 free multi from the lottery here, because usually the lotteries do give at least 1 free multi. So everybody will have a chance to pull the new Miwa and also the Toto recollection bit here. So, you know, you guys might have a chance to get either one of these for free, which is kind of cool. But it'll probably only be 1 because if they do give us 2, then we'll get that's literally 10 gacha tickets, which they don't really want to give us, right? But yeah, she's S+ here as a specialist. Let's see what she does. So she does have both Jujutsu and Taijutsu. Okay, so first skill, new Kitsuke. I don't know if I said that right. At level 1 here, if sword sheath count is 1 or above, so she has kind of like a stack thing, kind of like Combo does or some other characters do. Increases her own damage by 5.7% one time, and the higher own sword sheath count is, the greater the damage up to 100%, and deals combined damage of 80 Taijutsu and 30% Jujutsu. So more on the Taijutsu, less on the Jujutsu. And if sword sheath count is 5 or above, increases own critical hit rate by 35% for 3 turns, but cannot be stacked. So you might as well just do it 1 time basically. But it also takes away 1, no matter whatever you do, if you do use the skill, it will take away 1 sword sheath count. So kind of nice, you know, you do get some crit rate out of it. She does do decent damage, and she also increases her own damage. Now when we go to level 10, right, the max, now she's increasing her own damage by 7.5%. Her damage now goes to 120 Taijutsu and 45 Jujutsu, and then that's basically it. So yeah, I mean, not too bad as a skill right here. Not that bad. I wanted to say this before I almost forgot about this. I want to mention, it looks like all the characters from the Kyoto school, Jujutsu High or whatever, it seems like they all kind of have this stacking effect, because like Kamo has like a stacking effect kind of thing. Actually never mind, I was gonna say they kind of do, but I guess maybe not. I guess what I should be saying is that some characters have like a stack, because I was like gonna say like it kind of feels like almost all the Kyoto characters have some sort of stacking effect. Like she has a sword sheath count, Kamo has like this blood thing, but then I was thinking about Panda has one too, but he's not, you know, affiliated with them, right? So I guess that doesn't really make sense. Also like level 8, it's like 7.1 increased own damage, and then 111 Taijutsu. You guys are interested in that. Now skill 2, I won't give in. At level 1, it costs 20 curse energy, by the way. So she gets a counter to herself for 2 turns, 3 times. She's able to evade attacks for 1 turn, 36% chance at level 1, and increases own sword sheath count by 1 up to 15 times. So she could have a total of 15 sword sheath counts, and she basically can stack it up with skill 2 here. And she attracts the selected enemy's attacks to self for 1 time. That's pretty good. And then her counter status, when targeted by an enemy single melee attack, so specifically has to be single and melee, and her sword sheath count is 1 or above, increases own damage by 20% for 1 time, so that's pretty nice. And then the higher the count is, the more damage boost up to 50% on this one. And then she deals 100% melee combined damage, so 100 Taijutsu, 30% Jujutsu as counter damage, and increases her own Taijutsu by 10% for 3 turns. However, this cannot be stacked, which kind of sucks that they're limited here to not being able to stack these. and it also takes away one sword sheath count, which is kind of interesting because it literally says this gives it to her, but this is specifically saying that if she does activate her counter from being attacked, then she will decrease it. So that kind of sucks. But at the same time, you're kind of foolproof with this skill because this will literally give it to her anyways, so she'll be able to benefit from it. But even though it will take away, right? Now level 10, we're looking at a 50% evasion chance, so that's pretty cool. Okay, 50% evasion. And then it looks like that's it. Everything else is the same basically. So the damage is the same, which is kind of odd. You think the damage would be increased. Oh, my bad. The damage doesn't increase. The combined damage gets increased. So instead of doing 100 combined damage, now she's doing 150 specifically melee combined damage. So keep that in mind. You know, kind of a big damage move. However, it is worth it because she does get a higher evasion chance, so she won't get hit, but she'll probably be able to still activate the counter, right? Which is pretty nice. Now, skill 3 here, Sword Sheath. Oh, actually, this one would be better. Also, is 20% or 20% energy. She increases her own taijutsu by 20% for 3 turns. This one does stack, and increases own sword sheath count by 3 up to 15. Okay, interesting. So she can do it with skill 2, but you only get 1 out of it, but it puts her in her counter state, right? However, with her skill 3 here, she gets more of the sword sheath counts, and she gives her a damage buff here, which at level 10 is up to 29, which is odd. It's not 30, and then at level 8 it's 27. So honestly, kind of nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So basically, this is just like whenever you just want to buff her up a little bit more, either during counter or after counter, you could do it this way. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, not too bad. And then the ultimate here, Flash level 1. His sword sheath count is 1 or above, which like everything else is basically. Increase own damage by 20% one time, and the higher the sword sheath, this one specifically goes up to 100. So the ultimate goes up to 100, and then the skill 1 also has a 100% damage boost. However, the skill 2 here for the counter is only up to 50% for the sword sheath count, which I find will be a little bit interesting. And then she also does melee combined damage equal to 548 taijutsu and then 220 jutsu to selected enemy. So all these are also single target seemingly. And then increases the selected enemy's taijutsu received by 14% for 3 turns, which is kind of nice. It's a little bit more damage, but specifically if she has 7 of these sword sheath counts or above, she's able to reduce her own taijutsu damage received by 15% for 3 turns, but she takes away 7 instead. So keep that in mind. So if she does have 7 or above, she will take away 7, but you do get a bit of a damage buff or damage decrease buff. Now on level 10 at max, now we're looking at a 30% damage increase, so an extra 10% there. And then we're also looking now at a 820 taijutsu damage and 360 jutsu. And then she's also able to give now the enemy an increased taijutsu damage received by 22% instead of 14%. And that's basically it. And then at level 8, it'll be 20% increased own damage, and then 768 taijutsu and then 330 jutsu, while also applying a 20% increased taijutsu damage received for 3 turns, which is still pretty nice. So yeah, overall, not half bad. Also with her combo here, she's able to increase her and the allies damage by 15% for 3 turns, which is actually kind of huge actually. And then she also does do the combined damage of 50% taijutsu and jutsu to selected enemy. And she does have an auto skill, sword chopping. So when she does a crit, she increases her sword sheath count by 2. That's actually pretty good. So if she's able to crit, she's able to literally give herself sword sheath counts pretty easily, which I'm assuming would maybe count during her counters, which could be quite beneficial. So that means she can stack up a lot easier that way. So that's pretty huge. And then at the start of the turn of each turn, if counter status is applied itself, increase sword sheath count by 1. So that's cool. So technically, when she does her sword sheath counter status here, she gives herself 1 here. However, when she does it also, according to the skill here, she's able to give herself an extra 1. That's actually pretty cool. So technically that's 2 right there, not 1. And at the start of each turn, depending on own sword sheath count, she can apply the following effects. So if she has 1 to 3, she decreases own taijutsu damage received by 15% for 1 turn. That's kind of cool. If she has between 4 to 6, she increases her own break damage by 50% for 1 turn. That's not too bad. And then if she has 7 or above, she increases her own critical hit damage by 50% for 1 turn. Okay. So yeah, overall, definitely looks like you want to get as many stacks as possible, which is pretty easy. So you probably want to do a combo of skill 3, skill 2, maybe not touch skill 1 too much. though it does give you a bit of a damage buff, so it might be kind of worth it. But mind you though, the damage buff is only for one turn, so it's not the best. So it might be better just to stick with skill 2, skill 3, then do the ultimate and just rinse and repeat that most likely. Though at the same time, to be fair, you will have to probably use skill 1 to get your curse energy back up again, right? So there is that. But yeah, overall, not half bad. Yeah, if you guys definitely get her, she would be pretty useful. Also, I'd imagine she'll probably be pretty useful. You guys are trying to get through Legendary Tower. I'm stuck around, I think, 20 floor 32, I think, or 34, something like that. I'm stuck on one of those floors, but I'm like really close to finally being able to hit the global exclusive illusionary floor area. But it's honestly kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I only have like one good blue character in my team, which is Gojo, but I do have like a combo, but he's like not that good, so definitely has not been super easy. Anyways, we have this Total Recollection bit, which is, you guys can see, is an S rank one and is also mixed, of course, right? Because Miwa is mixed. So it is more, is both equal, Taijutsu and Jutsu, both at 29. So skill 1, whenever you do a skill or ultimate, so basically do anything, increase own damage by 65% for 2 turns, specifically for blue characters, which kind of sucks a little bit, but Miwa literally fills that, so it's perfectly fine. And if your ultimate skill gauge is full when you activate this, you grant a sure hit status to yourself. So basically, if they have a dodge or something, Miwa will be able, or anyone, or Blue Gojo, right? Blue Gojo would also count too. They would basically be able to hit them through like a dodge or whatever, right? That's pretty cool. And then we have the one dupe when the character is in counter status, which Miwa was able to do, and the skill ends. So once her, I think it's basically saying when her counter goes away, she gets a critical hit rate buff of 20% for 2 turns. One time though. I mean, that's not too bad. Basically, she's able to give herself an extra 20% critical hit rate like every time she's basically out of her counter status. And then if you do have this at max dupe, you're able to increase your own damage by 70%, which is like about the same as like, where is it? This one, the adult time. That's the one I was talking about earlier. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense to why it's an S tier, not an SS tier, because it's like a weaker version of adult time. Because if we're not correcting adult time, oh, we're just looking at it right now, it's a 75%, right? Yeah, 75% damage dealt, and you do get some crit rate in there as well. So, but of course, the only downside is that you don't get the other stuff here. But overall, this one's not too bad. So if you guys do pick this up, it's not, not the worst. Still usable for blue characters though, if you for the damage buff here. Though the downside is that you won't be able to get this crit buff because you need to have the counter unit. So yeah, not too bad. Then we have this one, which is the one from the event, the free-to-play one, which apparently also really good tier list with the show. It is a support one and is an S tier, so it's also another good one. Pretty cool. 2 back-to-back S tier ones that are free. Pretty happy about that. So what this one does, it is 50-50, which makes sense. When you do a skill or ultimate, so you do anything, you increase all allies' damage by 10% for 1 turn. Only for blue characters though, so not the best, but kind of nice. And at the start of the battle, increase all allies' damage by 10%. Only for blue character. Oh, effective is second enemy's weakness to blue type. So that's interesting. So they're basically saying that you get a damage buff, but specifically only if the enemy's weak to blue, I guess is what it's saying. So in illusionary, or if you do the illusion of the tower, this will be good there, right? If you do the tower, because if there's any floors where the enemy's weak to blue, we have to use blue characters. This will be handy for that. If you're trying to get the damage buffs in there, but otherwise, fuck that. So yeah, this is more of like a tower thing. Also, you do have a max dupes, which if you do the event, everybody will be able to. And now is a 20% damage buff, specifically for 1 turn though, which kind of sucks. So you do have to kind of time this. But it is a pretty significant buff though. 20% damage buff for all allies is pretty huge. So yeah, I can see why it's pretty good. I would see this probably being used more so in tower though, specifically because the the whole blue thing going on here. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But with that being said, guys, I'm probably gonna head on out. So good luck with your summons. Good luck with the event grinding. And I'll see y'all later. I might do one more video for the event, doing my own pulls. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.